Welcome to our YouTube channel. I'm Suharita from Kristi Jayanti College, and today I'll be discussing about post-transcriptional modifications. So, what is post-transcriptional modifications? So first, let's see what is transcription. So the process of transcription involves the production of RNA molecules from DNA molecules. So this passes down the genetic information from DNA to the RNA molecules. Here the RNA molecules are directly involved in the process of protein synthesis that takes place in the cytoplasm of our cell. There are different types of RNAs involved in this process, especially mRNA, that is the messenger RNA that actually serves as a template for protein synthesis that takes place in the ribosomes of our cell. Before our messenger RNA actually leaves the nucleus and enters the cytoplasm, where it attaches to the ribosomes and undergo protein synthesis, our mRNA has to undergo many types of modifications which are important and thereby several post-transcriptional modifications. Now, within the nucleus of our cell, we produce a molecule known as precursor mRNA. So the mRNA that is formed directly following the process of transcription before any type of post-transcription modifications actually takes place is known as the precursor mRNA or the pre-mRNA. So this is the mRNA. So this is the primary transcript. Now this mRNA is not yet undergone necessary modification processes that are needed for the molecule to exit the nucleus and enter the cytoplasm. These post-transcriptional modifications occur only in eukaryotes because they are monocistronic. Now, there are three types of post-transcriptional modification. The first one is 5' capping, second, poly A tail addition, and the third, RNA splicing. Now, let's take a look at each of these post-transcriptional modifications of mRNA. So the first one is 5' guanosine triphosphate cap. So within the nucleus of the cell, before our pre-mRNA actually leaves the nucleus, the 5' end of the precursor mRNA is altered by the attachment of the addition of a guanosine nucleotide via a special bond and linkage known as 5' triphosphate linkage. And following the addition of the attachment of this cap, the guanosine nucleotide is also altered in several ways. One of the ways in which the guanosine nucleotide is altered by the methylation of 7' position of the to form a 7-methyl guanosine nucleotide. So this is the 5' cap structure. This is ribose sugar, and for the ribose sugar, guanosine is attached, and this is the phosphate molecules, 3 phosphate molecules, so triphosphate linkage, and this is the other base. So now this type of 5' guanosine triphosphate cap is shown here. So this is the 5' end of the pre-mRNA, and it is synthesized directly following the process of transcription. So basically what we do is here, we add this guanosine nucleotide via triphosphate. So this is the triphosphate linkage. We add this guanosine nucleotide. And so this is called 5' triphosphate linkage because the linkage is between the sugar 1 and sugar 2, that is the ribose sugar. So this is called as 5' guanosine triphosphate capping. So we all will have a question that why should we add this cap to our pre-mRNA molecule? This is because it protects our mRNA from the degradation and could take place during the process of translation or protein synthesis. It also gives our mRNA the ability to leave the nucleus through the nuclear pores and enter the cytoplasm of our cell. So it also stabilizes the RNA molecule and aids in the transport across the nuclear membrane of the nucleus of the cell. So the next one, the second type of post-transcriptional modification that takes place in the nucleus is known as polyadenylation of 3' tail. So before the nucleus of pre-mRNA actually leaves our nucleus, tail has to actually be removed. So the small addition of tail of pre-mRNA is removed, and instead we add many adenosine nucleotides. And this 3' tail is now known as poly A tail. So this is the 3' untranslated region, and here about 200 to 250 adenine nucleotides are added to the 3' end of the precursor mRNA. So now, this tail is contains many adenosine nucleotides. So this is called as polyadenosine tail or polyadenine tail. Now, just as a 5' cap has the ability to assist different types of degradation in the cytoplasm and gives our mRNA stability, the poly A tail also provides the mRNA the stability and keeps the tail from degrading in the cytoplasm of our cell and aid in the transport of our mRNA from the nucleus of the cytoplasm of our cell. So basically what happens is our mRNA molecule, it is removed and a small section of 3' end of pre-mRNA, a bunch of adenosine phosphates are added. And hence this is known as polyadenylation. The final type of post-transcriptional modification is known as the process of splicing. So we remove the regions called as introns and combine the regions known as exons. So not all regions of pre-mRNA molecule code for a protein, and those regions that code for a proteins are known as exons, and those that do not code for a proteins are known as introns. So special type of enzymes that together are known as lysosome basically remove our introns and splice together or combine our exons together to form a final RNA molecule. So this is the primary RNA transcript. Now these are the introns and these are the exons. So the introns are removed and exons are attached by spliceosome enzyme. So this is the mature mRNA after which the 5' capping, polyadenylation and splicing is done. So only after these three processes, the mRNA can exit the nucleus into the cytoplasm and undergo protein synthesis or translation. So that's all. These are my references. And thank you for listening. Please do subscribe for our YouTube channel, Gene Editors.